Lesson 2. The English Colonies in Virginia. Vocabulary. Royal Charter. Indentured servant. Anglican. Cash crop. House of Burgesses. Representative. Academic vocabulary. Finance. Assemble. Unlock the big question. I will know why England explored and settled in North America. Jumpstart activity. Work with a partner and try to convince your partner to move and switch desks or spaces with you. Explain why your desk is better and why your partner should move. Think about how this relates to settling North America. Why did people want to move there? How did countries such as England try to convince people to move? In the late 1500s, England and Spain were bitter rivals. They fought over land, resources, and trade. They fought over religion, too. People in Spain followed the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic leader was the Pope in Rome, Italy. Many English people were Christian Protestants who followed the teachings of Martin Luther and others. Luther started a movement called the Protestant Reformation in 1517. Followers of Luther became known as Protestants because they protested some practices of the Catholic Church. Protestants translated the Bible from Latin into German or English, the languages people spoke. They believed that everyone should be able to read the Bible. The Catholic Church was angry at Luther and others because they challenged the Church's authority. However, the Pope tried to reform the Catholic Church in a movement that became known as the Counter-Reformation. The Reformation and Counter-Reformation influenced European Protestants and Catholic missionaries to explore and colonize North America. England envied Spain's vast and rich American colony, New Spain. England's Queen Elizabeth I supported English colonization in North America. She agreed to let Sir Walter Raleigh send an exploring party to North America. The goal was to find the best locations for setting up colonies in North America. The Queen hoped to find gold and silver, as the Spanish had. The first colony fails. Queen Elizabeth gave a royal charter to Raleigh. This was a document that gave him the right to set up and govern colonies. In return, he promised the colonies would belong to England. Raleigh sent scouts to North America to look for good locations in 1584. One group landed in what is now North Carolina. They reported that the American Indians living on this land were friendly and the land was good for growing crops. Raleigh sent about 100 settlers to establish a colony in North Carolina. These men landed on Roanoke Island in 1585. They built a fort, but soon ran into trouble. The colonists' supplies ran out, and they relied on the Roanoke Island Indians for food. The Indians, however, stopped helping the colonists. Discouraged, the colonists returned to England in 1586. The lost colony of Roanoke. The next year, in 1587, Sir Walter Raleigh sent another group of over 100 settlers to Virginia. This group included men, women, and children on 3 ships. The colony would grow its own food and make its own products to use and to sell across the Atlantic. Instead of settling on Roanoke Island, the plan was to set up a colony farther north on Chesapeake Bay. The bay was deeper, which was better for large ships. This group of colonists faced problems, too. First, they landed at Roanoke Island, then the pilot refused to take them to Chesapeake Bay. The colonists had no choice but to stay on Roanoke Island. This did not please the Roanoke Island Indians because of their relationships with the earlier colonists. John White was in charge of the colony. He tried to make peace with the Indians, but neither side trusted each other. There was some good news. White's granddaughter, Virginia Dare, was born in August. She was the first English child born in North America. There was more bad news, however. The colonists were running out of supplies. White knew they could not depend upon the Indians for help. He decided to return to England for more supplies. At this time, England and Spain were still at war. White reached England, but the war prevented him from returning to Roanoke Island. He returned 2 years later in 1590. There were no English colonists left on Roanoke Island. All that remained was the name of a nearby island carved on a post, Croatoan. Currently, historians and scientists do not know exactly what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke Island. Quest connections. Think about the people and events in the Roanoke Island colony. How can you use both the text and illustrations to help you complete your quest? 1. Reading check. Analyze the illustration of John White upon his return to Roanoke Island. Talk with a partner about how it supports the text. The Virginia Company. The failure of the colonies on Roanoke Island made England reluctant about settling North America. Then, after more than a decade, in 1606, the Virginia Company received a royal charter from James I, the new King of England. The Virginia Company would pay to establish and supply a new colony in North America. In return, the company would make money for England by exporting and selling natural resources in Europe. Because of Spain's success in mining silver and gold, the Virginia Company hoped to find those precious metals in North America too. The company also expected to make money by selling goods that the colonists would produce. To raise money, the Virginia Company sold shares. People could buy part of the company and become shareholders. That money financed the ships and supplies for the new colony. When the Virginia Company sold resources and products from the colony and made money, they would give part of those profits to the shareholders. In December of 1606, the Virginia Company sent 3 ships with over 100 men and boys to North America. Their destination was Jamestown. 2. Reading check. Analyze the diagram. Circle the steps that show how the Virginia Company expected to make money. How the Virginia Company worked. Step 1. Investors paid for shares in the Virginia Company. Step 2. The company financed 3 ships to take settlers to Virginia. Step 3. The settlers built the colony of Jamestown. Step 4. Lumber, tobacco, glass, and tar were exported to England. Step 5. After products were sold, investors shared in profits.